Hello everyone, welcome to DVxUI. First of all, thank you very much for 1000 subscribers. And thank you for this one extra subscriber as well. We are now 1000 large and I'm very excited to create new videos. So let's just start with this one. So today what we are going to do is, we are going to make this hero section in Figma. And we are going to learn about UI and UX a lot. So are you ready? I hope you are. So let's start. So before starting, let me introduce this screen to you. So over here I have my pages, and here will go layers, and here you will see a black box which will say the keys that I am pressing on my keyboard. And on the right panel what we can do is, if we draw a random element over here on the canvas, then the properties of that element will appear over here, and we can manipulate this to convert this into a beautiful thing. So without further ado, let's start. So the very first step that we have is to get a frame, and we can grab it from here. The Figma UI has been changed. Before it used to appear over here, but now it is here, but the concept remains same. So what we are going to do is, we are going to get a frame. So click on frame, and here in the desktop select desktop. So here we have our frame, which is desktop. Now before moving forward, let me introduce my resources to you. So here I have all my resources. Let me tell you from where you can get yours. So here on the Google you can type free pick, and last time I was making a pizza website, that is why it is pizza here. So let's remove this, and you can search for cars. Cut this out, and we have cars picture over here, and you can iterate something and you can get your picture as well. You can find a suitable picture just like this one, but this is a premium one. What you can do is, you can also find a free picture. Let me give you an example. Let's see if we have a free picture that we can use. So as you can see, this picture is free. This is also AI generated and looks quite great. And to remove background, what you can do is hit on the remove background, and this will remove the background. Now if you are just watching the video, it will not make you a good designer. In order to become a good designer, you need to learn by doing. So I will ask you to open your Figma on your computer, on your device, and start drawing with me. Well, let's go back to the Figma, and here double click on this desktop icon, and this will zoom to fit your screen. Make it a little bit large. Okay, this is fine. Now very first what I want to do is, I want to provide a border radius to this frame. As you can see, this is sharp right now. I want to provide a radius. So for that, select this frame, and here find corner radius and provide a corner radius of 24. Hit enter, and it has been provided a beautiful corner radius. Now I also want to provide some stroke to this frame. For that, go to stroke and select a weight of 4. Hit enter, select a color which is our primary color. So this looks good as of now. Now the next step that we have is to draw a frame over this. Here I want to address a beginner mistake. I see a lot of new Figma designers, what they do is, they always try to use rectangles. But the expert or the intermediate designers prefer using frames instead of rectangles. Because rectangle is just an element that cannot contain anything, but frames can contain other element, which makes our design rigid and hold itself. So I'm not going to use this rectangle. Hit delete and select a frame. Let's give it a color. So the color is white. Let's give this primary color. And now let's fix it dimensions. So for the dimension, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to provide a width of 1440, which is the complete width of this parent frame. Now as you are seeing, this is not centered and this is not properly aligned. So what I want to do is, I want to align this. Here we have alignment tool. So I will press this, which is horizontal alignment, and then I will press this. This is vertical alignment, and this has been aligned at the complete center of this frame. Now what I want to do is I want to increase the height. So the height is going to be 900. To align this according to us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this alignment tool over here, which is align top. So this will stick it to the top of the frame. Now it has been fixed, and I want to change the color now. So the color is going to be secondary color, and you can see the hex code over here. It is also a variant of white, but also with a touch of blue. So this is done. I want to bring my car and park on this frame. So for that, let's go to this resources, select our car, copy. Then on this desktop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it over here. Let's align it randomly. Okay, this looks good. Now the next step that we have is to draw the nav bar of this web page. But first of all, let me lock this image over here. Otherwise, it is going to interfere with our design. So it has been locked. Now again select a frame. Remember that I'm not selecting a rectangle, I'm always selecting a frame in order to bind the element which are inside the frame. So I'm randomly going to draw a frame, fill it, and this looks good, but we can always enhance the look and the overall feel of this nav bar. So for that, what we can do is, first of all, let us provide this corner radius. So we will provide a corner radius of 72. Now let's fix it dimension. So the width is going to be 1041 and the height is going to be 70. So the dimensions are okay. Let's align it horizontally center. So it has been centered. Hold shift and press up key to align it properly. Now it has been aligned. In order to see this gap, what you can do is you can hold Alt and hover over this parent frame. Now as you can see, I'm not able to see this gap. Instead, I'm getting these values over here. But if I click on this frame, which is outside this frame, then as you can see, I'm getting a value of 25 over here. Let me show you again. So 25 I'm getting over there. So what I can do is I can reduce it to 25. Just hit arrow up button on your keyboard. So now it has been completely fixed. Now to provide more depth to this nav bar, what you can do is you can provide effects. Effects like shadows, blur radius, and etc. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a shadow, a drop shadow, then select this. And for the X part, I'm going to provide a shadow of 0. For example, let me show you how this works. So for the X part, I'm going to provide 30. So as you can see, a shadow of 30 pixels has been drawn over here on the X axis. And for the Y axis, what I can do is I can write 40 over here. So a shadow has been drawn over here, as you can see. But I don't want these values. What I can do is I'm going to get a 4 for the Y axis, and for the X axis I'm going to get a 0 value. So now it is a little bit elevated. So this is how I wanted it to look. We need to add text on this nav bar. So for that I'm going to select a text, and here on this nav bar I'm going to type ridenow.com. Don't worry if you are not able to see this because the text size is quite large, and we are going to reduce it to 24 pixels. And I'm going to keep it semi-bold, and the typography is outfit. Let's align this by using this vertical center alignment tool. So it is on the center. Let's change the color to 1B. What you can do is, if your color hex code is 1B, 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 you can always type 1B and hit enter, and the color will be changed. So 1B is a variant of black, which looks good on the design with a background of white. This is my personal preference. If you want to place black, you can do that also. So the text has been placed. What I want to do is I want to put more emphasis on this ride now over here. So for that, let me change the color of it, make it primary color, and this has been changed. So this looks good. Now we need to provide navigation links over here. So for that, select text and write home. Now let's fix this first. So the font size is going to be 18 and semi-bold, and the color is going to be 1p. Now I'm going to select this home, copy paste, write cars, then about, and then contact. Now, as you can see, they are not perfectly aligned. In order to perfectly align them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each of them by holding shift and clicking on them. And now right click and select this add auto layout. Now they are placed on the horizontally center and they are perfectly aligned. I can change the gap between these text. So for that, I'm going to change this from 33 to 60, let's say, and 60 looks good because we also want a search icon at the very right of this nav bar over here. So let's align this by using this alignment tool. Let's indicate that we are on the home page by changing the color of this home. So for that, let's change this color to primary color. Now everything is fixed. The only thing that is remaining is we need a search icon over here. So for that, I'm going to select a frame again, place it on this nav bar. Let's provide a fill color so that we can see it of primary color, and then corner radius of, let's say, 100. And we are going to change the dimension of this circle. So for that, let's clip it. Well, by clipping it, if you change this value, which is height, the width will change to the same value as height. So I'm going to change this height from 100 to 60 and align this. Let's hold shift and shift it to the right. So this has been placed perfectly, as you can see. And now we need a search icon. So for that, I'm going to use a plugin which is Iconify. And here, search for search. Quite practical. I will get this icon, place it over there, and on the very center, I'm going to place it and change the color to white. For that, I am simply going to write here white. Or what I can do is I can also write FFF, which is 6 Fs for the white color, as you can see over here. Hit enter and the color has been changed. So let's see. Let's fix its alignment. I think we can make it a bit closer to this. Let's see if they are aligned. Yes, they are aligned perfectly. So now our nav bar looks quite clean and beautiful. What we can do is we can move to the next step of this design. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle. Now, if you notice, for the decoration purpose, I'm using a rectangle, but wherever I need something concrete, I'm using a frame. So the dimension of this rectangle is going to be 660, let's say, and for the height part, it is going to be 530. Hold shift and let's align it. So this looks quite great. And now place it to the back of this design. For the color part, select the primary color. And this already looks quite great. Now what we can do is we can also fix the alignment of this car. I guess we can select this. No, we cannot because this is locked up here. So the car is selected. I have seen some of the people making a shadow effect, so also I'm going to show that, but I'm not going to use it in this original design. But let me show you how they make this glass shadow effect. So for that, what you can do is just copy paste this car. So I have two cars over here, and then flip it vertically. Now as it is vertically flipped, place it below this car, and what we can do is send it to back, not back, and then change the opacity to, let's say, 40. And now they get this sort of a glass shadow effect. So you can also make this, but we are not going to use this design over here. So let's delete it. Now let's work on one of the main part of this hero section, which is the hero text. So let's center align it first. I'm going to make it a little bit zoom. So this is perfect for me. Now I want to tell you about an observation that I have got seeing the website over these years. So what that observation is, let me first open a website. So let's say if we open a Dribble website, and then let's open a Mobbin website as well. Okay, so we are here. Let me grab this tool. And now if you see, this hero text is drawn over here, and this is drawn as a triangle. So over the years, what I have seen is that these websites use a triangle to place their hero text. It can be inverted triangle, it can be equilateral triangle, it can be sideways, either right or left. Let me show you how. So even on this Mobbin website, you can see a triangle pattern over here. So they are also using it. They have one more triangle which you can find over here. So they are using this triangle formula to place their hero text. We are also going to use a similar formula, but a different variant of this. So let me tell you about that formula. So here, as you can see, you can place the text with the alignment of this equilateral triangle, or like inverted triangle as we saw in the Mobbin or in the Dribble website. And you can also place this sideways. And in our design, what we are going to do is we are going to use this left-right angled triangle. And how are we going to place the text? This is how we are going to place the text. So this is the triangle that we are going to use, which is left-right angled, as I said, and we are going to use this one. So let's head back to YouTube. And now here, for the top of our triangle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a text. Let's say get your keys to, and I'm going to change the size, let's say 62. And obviously it is not going to be semi-bold, it is going to be medium. And change the color to 1B, which I like. And let's place it over here. Let's lock this again. So this will not interfere in our design. So the text has been placed. Now what I'm going to do is I need a base of our triangle. So for that base, I'm going to write your next, right? And this is going to be of size, let's say 92. And this is obviously going to be semi-bold. Let's fix its alignment. Now to align these two pieces of text perfectly on your desktop, what you can do is you can click on this desktop over here, and you can go to this right panel, scroll, and you will find this layout grid. Hit it, and instead of grid, select columns and hit over this icon. And for the count, we are going to provide 16. So the red rectangular bar will appear on your designs. This is to guide you, and you can always turn it off by using this eye icon over here. But let's show it because I'm going to use this. Now let's select both the text and keep it here. So this is perfectly aligned with this rectangle which is present at the left extreme of this design. Okay, this is great. Now I'm going to turn this layout grid off. Let's select them and we can move it a little bit higher because I want a description text over here. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on this Lorem website. From here, I will select this much of text and go back to our design. Some people might argue that you can get a placeholder text instead of lorem ipsum, but I prefer it this way only. For the text part, I'm going to select a text again and place it over here. Let's change the size and the appearance. For the size, it is going to be 18, and from semi-bold, I'm going to make it light, let's say. And for the fill color, I'm going to select 1B, and from 100% I'm going to make it 70%. So the reason why I have reduced the opacity, it is to put more emphasis on this hero text instead of this description text, and this also makes our design look great. So this has been placed perfectly. If you want to know, you can select all these text and then use this alignment which says alignment left, and yeah, this is aligned. Now this piece of text looks kind of boring. What we can do is we can put more emphasis on the important words. So for me, the ride is important over here. So let's select a color which is primary color. And here keys are important. So let's change the color of this keys as well. So now this looks quite interesting. Now for the button part. I have seen beginners using a rectangle instead of frame to create a button. You should always use a frame in order to create your button. Let me tell you why and let me show you how. First, let me show you how. So I'm going to select a text and here I'm going to write book a car. Now I'm not concerned with the size as of now. So I will just right click and add this auto layout. And for the padding part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it 16 horizontal padding, and for the vertical padding it is going to be 10 only, and fill it with the primary color, and let's change the color to white. I guess we can change the horizontal padding because this looks quite congested, so let's increase that to 26, let's say, maybe a bit more, 36, 46 looks fine. And now we need to change the size of this button. Now generally what beginners do is they grab this and change the size like, and the things go wrong very quickly, as you can see over here. You shouldn't be doing it like this. Instead, what you can do is you can select your text and change its font size to 18 and change the padding to 16. Okay, so this looks great, and place it over here. Now since we have used the auto layout, if we change the text size, then the overall button size will also change. So this is how you should draw your buttons. Now let me fix the size of this button. So for the padding, let's go with 24, let's say, and for the vertical padding I'm going with 13. Looks great, we can keep it. So let's place it over here. Now copy paste this, and here I'm going to remove the fill. I'm going to add a stroke, change the color to 1B, change the stroke color to 1B as well, and weight of 2. And let's change this text, which is going to say cars list. This is good, this looks great. Now the next step that we have is we need to decorate it a bit more. Let's do that decoration part. So for that I'm going to select a frame and drop it over here randomly on this frame. Fill it with white color so that you can see it. And for the size part, I'm going to provide a size of 40. 40 is quite small, so let me provide a size of 45. 45 is good. Now for the corner radius, I'm going to provide 45 in order to make it a circle. So now our frame is converted into a circle. Now go to plugins, manage plugin, and search for Unsplash. and here in the search type person, and you will get these type of images which can be used as a profile picture. I'm searching for a suitable picture. We can take this one, so let's take this one. And now we need to fix this picture into the circle. So for that we need to change the dimension of this picture first. Let's make it small and then put it inside this frame. Adjust it. Well, these things happens. When you are designing, you need to iterate it and get to the perfect size, alignment and the layout. So this has been fixed perfectly. Let's go here. And now if you see from far, this is kind of blending into this frame. So to prevent that, what we can do is we can select this frame and we can provide a stroke of primary color. And now copy paste this. You can also change the picture, but for the simplicity part I'm going to keep it like this. So I will place them stacked upon each other. And now I need a text. For that I'm going to write 2 lakhs plus change this color to primary color. The size is going to be 16, semi bold, and here write trusted customers. Change the color. The size is going to be 16 only and it is going to be regular. Now I'm going to align it a bit. Let's group them together so that I can manage them as one element. Now take it here, group them as well, name this group avatars and this group to text. Avatar text will be more descriptive. Now frame this together, or you can also provide auto layout, which is same as providing a frame. But you get these extra options that can be used to change the gap between this text and the picture. So now this looks perfect to me. Let's place it. And we are done with the hero text. Now we need to place some logos over here on the bottom of this hero section. So for that, first of all, let's grab our text and write partner with. I know you are not able to see that, so let me increase the size. Let's say 24 of medium and of primary color, and this is also going to be aligned with this text. So for that I'm going to turn on this grid, align it here. Now let's turn off that. Okay, this is good. Now let's grab our icons, select them. Now I want to align all these icons in a row manner. So for that, what I can do is I can right click and again add auto layout, but it is not in the raw format. For that, what we can do is we can go to this direction and select this. So now it has been placed in a row, and I'm going to make it hug. So hug contents so that the frame expand and cover all these icons. Now the icons are inside this frame. Now they are aligned horizontally, but they are not vertically perfectly aligned. So for that, what we can do is we can go over here where this alignment is present, and here we can tap on this center. So now they are aligned at the very center. So let's copy this and go to our design and paste it here. Bring it here. Now since this is a frame, you can always alignment by using these tools. I guess we can increase the gap between these logos. So for that, click on this frame, and for the gap, let's say 160. align it properly. Let's take it a bit up, zoom it, and now this looks perfect. But there is one thing that is concerning, that these places looks kind of empty. We can utilize them to design it and make it more beautiful. So how we can do that? We can do that by using text. So let's grab a text and write now. Write in one line and now in another. The size is going to be 250, which is a large text size. Now is not visible. So for that I'm going to adjust this line height. For the line height I'm going to use 108. Okay, so this is not perfect. Now to make it perfect, hold shift and increase the size by using the arrow up key. Let's place it over here and reduce down its opacity to 10%. Okay, now this really looks great. Now we also need one more text to fill this empty space. It is just a decoration part where you are enhancing the overall look of this hero section. So I've selected both. I'm going to change the size to 164, line height to 108, and color to primary color, and fill it with 10% of the opacity. So it is visible but it is not prominent, just as we want. Let's place it over here and send to back. So this is done, and let's take the overall look of this hero section. So randomly click on the canvas and then hit show hide UI. You can also use this shortcut, which is Ctrl and slash. So I'm struggling to zoom it. So now as you can see, this design looks great and we have achieved our target. Thank you very much for watching the video till here. And if you also have made this design, you can connect with me on Instagram and show it to me. It makes me really happy to see you trying and doing designing. In the coming videos, I'm going to come up with new designs, new techniques, and whatnot. But till then, you have to keep waiting, you have to keep designing. We will meet in the next one.